Hello and welcome to episode 26 of the Inner Miami Show. I'm one half of your co-hosting duo, Brandon Griffin, and with me is Mike. I don't have a middle name for you this week, Longan.
How about Mike rocking with the jersey Inter Miami should have made, Longan? Because
Thanks. Yeah.
I'm rocking the new Siege collab, Siege Bay 13 collab. They built the jersey that I want to see, which is it's clearly a ripoff of an Argentinian kit, but instead of the blue and white stripes, it's pink and white. It was such a obvious go-to for this club. I don't
Yeah.
like this should have been like I would not be surprised in 2 years, Messi's last year with us, 2 seasons from now. This is our official kit because it looks great. The Siege did an awesome job building this kit. I love it. I just think they nailed it. It's an Alvin York kit that Alvin York
Yeah.
actually is the one who produced it, which is super high quality. Just an awesome job by the boys at Siege for making this.
Yeah, and obviously I'm sporting the new Siege shirt with Table Crusher, the official beer of the Siege, and the Bay 13 collab. So if you couldn't tell, we got our Siege merch and gear this week. So super excited to sport it. I wanted to wear the jersey, but I didn't want to match Mike. We got to contrast a little bit. But
I never mind matching you. If we're gonna argue, listen, couples
we're
argue
gonna
and the same
match
clothes.
on the May the 4th game, I'm sure. But yeah, we'll match.
Why are we gonna match?
You're not gonna wear that shirt?
I'm wearing it to. Oh, this would be the next home game. Well, I'll have it in the pregame. I wore it for the pregame.
Yeah,
The
we'll
actual
match
match,
at
I'll
the
always have my.
pregame.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we're all gonna match. It's gonna be one giant sea of white and pink jerseys. Everyone's gonna be so proud.
I might just piss Nico off and wear the. I think I wore last episode the original La Palma before there was a La Palma on the Siege.
No, but what'll piss him off? Like I'm gonna wear this, but I'll wear it with my cargo capris, and that'll just still make him angry. So
yeah, I love it. But yeah, no, I think the jersey looks great, and I think I can't remember if we talked about it on the podcast or if we discussed it privately, but I was very against the stripes, the pink and white.
you were.
I thought it was going to look terrible, and I was 100% wrong. It looks so good.
We are starting
and that's
this
where
out
we should
with
have gone.
Mike 1 point, Branton 0 to start this because we argued this, and you're like, no, it'll be bad, cheap, cheesy, whatever. And I'm like, no, this is the way to go. And I'm
All
claiming
right.
this point.
I scratched my one out from last episode.
I'm up 1 point. By the way, Sean's watching the show. Thank you for watching. Calling out that Team Charlie Brown currently beating Monterey at halftime. While we're going to be live today. That game's going to run the whole time we're on, so we should get an idea of who ends up winning that match. Columbus Crew's the real deal. We have not had the chance to play them yet. Them and the Philadelphia Union look like the two big threats in the East, and the Red Bulls. And we got the Red Bulls coming up May 4th.
You're going to get revenge for the beatdown.
But the other two big teams, Philadelphia Union and Columbus Crew, and I think Columbus Crew is showing they are not one true crony. They're going to work their way through CONCACAF. They're going to be the second MLS team since the Sounders to go do it.
Yeah, I hope so because I want MLS
you can't
to win
dislike
CCC.
And unless you're a Cincinnati fan, you can't dislike the Crew. I get as a Cincinnati fan, I'm not going to get into that rivalry, but I just anyone else you look at them and go, the Crew built it the right way. They're a solid club.
Honestly, as long as it's an MLS team not named Orlando, I'm cool with it. Go for it.
No, DC, I can't root for. I can start naming teams I can't root for, but Columbus I like.
That we'd be here all night.
Nancy.
But before we get into our regular
Pablo's
topics,
going the other way around though. He is any Mexican team over Columbus. Well,
you're
you're probably going to be right, and when it's all said and done, but is Nancy the best coach in MLS? Greg Berhalter coached MLS.
Not ever.
No, so obviously the answer is no.
Not ever.
You're not gonna bite on that comment. You didn't hear what I said.
I choose to not listen when people mention Triple G, but to change it to a positive note, I do. Before we get into our normal rundown for today, I do want to say thank you guys massively because Mike and I were not expecting this to happen so soon, but we had our first video hit 1,000 views and we are pumped about it. It was our video for the live in the parking lot after the Nashville game. And who knew that 10-minute video was going to hit 1,000 views? And we're so thankful for all of you guys who
Especially
watch
with our
us on
crappy audio
YouTube.
that we still haven't solved the audio problems. We appreciate you
Well,
listening
we'll
to the
figure it
crappy
out
audio
by
and
May
all.
the 4th. We'll figure it out by then. I think I have that. I think I have an idea. But yeah, thank you guys who watch us on YouTube. Specifically, if you listen on audio and you're not following us on YouTube, unfortunately, I cannot upload the audio from those things to our publisher.
Well, yeah,
It
we're gonna
won't
try.
accept.
Yeah,
We're
because
gonna
if we
try
can
a new
figure,
way.
yeah, we're gonna
Well,
try the new way.
we're
If we
gonna
ever
try a
test
new
it.
way. We'll test it this week. But if we can figure that out, we will upload future episodes after the fact. But if you want live, raw coverage of what we saw while we were at the stadium, follow us on YouTube. Get in there for the live reaction videos that we do from the parking lot. If you guys are at the stadium, come by and see us. We'd love to talk with you guys. Last game we had Vice City Lucas was with us. I was so focused and pumped, like I didn't bring him on, and we should have just grabbed him and had him come on. If you're not following him on YouTube and on Twitter, he does some great stuff, puts out some cool content, goes around to the different tailgates and asks for fans' predictions and stuff. And I gave my prediction 3-1 for that game against Nashville. So check him out for sure. If you guys are around, come see us. You can't miss us. We're the giant spotlights in the green lot.
Yeah, we're there until the cops kick us out because they were a little aggressive this past game. They wanted us
And
out
they were
fast.
early.
Yeah, they were not messing around. We actually had an issue where one of our people, they were DGing a bunch of people that were in the what do we call the club, Northwest Club afterwards. The cops tell him to leave, and he's like, "But the people I need to drive home are still there. Which way?
Yeah.
Which way am I supposed to go here?" So it was a little aggressive, but I kind of get it. Maybe.
Oh,
Actually, I don't get
all
it.
right. We have to take back the thank you. Apparently, Mike V used his VPNs and logged in and out 900 times.
Hey, we still got 99. We still got 100 other people to watch it. So,
Mike,
Don't
if
take it
this
away
is
from us.
true, please feel free to do that to this video to prove it was you, and we'll give you full credit.
Oh, he said that. Joseph hurting you, buddy.
Joe.
What was your
All right.
prediction
I
for the
wasn't going to
Merseyside
bring
Derby?
this up, Joe. Mike probably knows this because he messaged me earlier this week and was like, "Oh, how's it feel rooting for Chelsea against Arsenal?" And I said, I need to worry about our games. I don't worry about how anybody else plays right now because I need to worry about our games. And I honestly, going into this Merseyside Derby, I thought we were going to lose. The team has not played well. They have not been cohesive in the last month and a half. The fan base has turned to a terrible place. I had to mute certain people from the Liverpool Twitterverse because it's gotten bad. Right now, my focus is just enjoying the last couple games we have of Jurgen Klopp. I hate that his reign at Liverpool is going to go out this way. I think he deserved better, but at the same time, I think we punched above our weight this year. Had Jota been healthy the whole season, maybe things would have been different. But here we are. So as long as it's not City that wins the title, I can get behind it. I can celebrate for guys like Spazzy and Nico and
And
cool
I'm
guy
just gonna throw out
Griffin.
here. Arsenal's
met
a
at the
hell of a team.
podcast.
I mean, watch them this week. Really good team. I just lot of good things to say about them because Chelsea's good and they beat us bad because it had nothing to do with Chelsea's horrible.
Joe, there's pain here for sure.
Oh, there's pain.
There really is. But
just for the record, when you asked me today what kit I was going to wear, my actual answer was, I guess not the Liverpool kit, huh? And that was being mean. So we picked on him pretty quickly.
And it's fine. I enjoy good banter, as you guys know, and Joe knows that. But yeah, no, it sucks. It definitely does, but it could be worse. We could have had the Brendan Rodgers era for ever and never gotten Jurgen Klopp. So hopefully the next guy is half as competent as Klopp. But moving on to Inter Miami topics because that's what you guys want to hear, not a sad.
By the way, throwing it out there, we mentioned the start of the show that Columbus is up 1-0. I just put in the chat a link to the video of the Cucho goal because it definitely looks like Columbus is playing Monterey the way you need to, pushing on Monterey and bringing the game to them. I know another team I wish could have played them just like what I'm seeing in this video.
Joe, you better be back in the green lot because I missed you this weekend. You weren't there.
All right, let's get this show on the road. We are 10 minutes in already. We haven't even pulled a slide up yet.
Boom. Starting off, as we like to do, we're starting up with season ticket holder updates. Mike, take us away. What happened this week?
So this is interesting. So we were all told, hey, you have the chance to opt. Wow, I like how you have the screen here now.
You like that?
This is nice. Yeah, nice job.
I just created that.
That's
I've used it a couple of times and you just noticed. Thanks.
Well, I like it. So anyway, a couple weeks ago, we all got the email. You can opt out of your tickets. If you don't opt out, you'll get an invoice. And we all kind of go, okay, what's the pricing going to look like? And we were told it's going to look similar to CCC pricing, which kind of put a little bit of a sour taste in at least my mouth, if not others. What's interesting is, first off, I guess we'll start off with this wasn't consistent. It sounds like, as far as I can tell, West Stand and North Stand basically are paying regular season prices. Like mine is within $3 of my regular season price. Someone else in North Stand told me the same thing. They're right there. It sounds like East Stand is still paying more, to the tune of quite a bit more. I heard 180 instead of 110. So I wanted to make this a really positive spin because I was really excited that, hey, the club's doing right. They seem to have finally figured out they can't just keep on price gouging us. People will not be in the stands.
And I think we should mention too, which you didn't, is that we do have first right of refusal. So you get your actual seats if you want them.
But the pricing so we got first right of refusal, so which we've already called out in a positive manner in the club. The pricing is better. I think the one thing to call out though is it's still a little inconsistent. Like you just don't know what's going to happen. Because I think Mike V posted that he's paying about $60 more a ticket. Jeff told me he's paying about $50, $60 more a ticket, which I was a little upset about because here I am like putting out Twitter like, hey, thanks to the club, they're doing the right thing. And then I found out it wasn't consistent, so that I guess kind of annoyed me. I might be paying $220 versus $150, which is it's a lot. Like that's not inconsistent. And to think that I'm paying $250 for my seats to the $220, like it doesn't seem like they figured it out. I do think I'll throw out one more thing. I think that the West side, I think, was getting the bigger price gouging for a while now, and they're bringing that one back because if you look during CCC, the top of West side was empty. Like East side was okay, North and South were okay, but top of West was empty. So I think that's why they brought these prices down so much on the West side. Versus on the East side, they're not having as hard time filling the seats.
Yeah, I couldn't weigh in on this because I am still on my moral boycott of the Leagues Cup. I'm still holding on to the US Open Cup and I'm still going to be bitter about that. But I will say that it does appear our friend Danny from Battered Herons, his boycott worked because this is exactly what he wanted. For right of first refusal and ticket prices that were somewhere close to where he is, because he's in South Stand, remember? And he said his ticket price was pretty close.
And that's why I think North, West, and South kind of went back to season ticket holder prices. East, as far as I can tell, because I think Sean's saying East 45 more in season ticket. Mike V, I think, is East. So it sounds like East was the one that kind of got screwed here. But if we kind of go back to our high school economics days, microeconomics days, you really do see in the stands during CCC, East was getting filled out. So they were selling tickets there quite comfortably. West, they weren't. So it makes sense to me that then they drop the price in West to kind of, this is Leagues Cup, right? Garber doesn't care the seats aren't that filled during CCC. That's not his tournament. He's made that very clear. He's brought it up like 45 times. They do care for Leagues Cup. They want packed seats. They want, especially with Messi in the stand on the pitch, a packed stadium. So they're going to get the pricing right on this game.
Yeah. Well, Mike V brings up an interesting point. Based off of that survey they sent out, they're warming us up to make my section club seats, section 116, first 5 rows. That wouldn't surprise me. And that might
I will
explain
throw
why
out.
I never got surfing, because I'm definitely not sitting there.
I will throw this out there, and this is going to sound super uh, bad of me, but the Northwest Club is packed. Like when at halftime in a game, you can't get food. You're stuffed in there to the gills. If they're planning on putting more people into the Northwest Club, they are going to have a secondary issue where people are going to get really frustrated. Uh,
Well, they
it,
may be able to do something different. It might not necessarily be Northwest Club. It could just be
maybe,
club.
and
That
they could
might be
put
something
and they could
different.
open up the third floor. They've kept for private events. We haven't been able to get up there. If they were
Oh,
to open
yeah.
up all the floors, that solves it. But right now, you can't start adding more seats without making an uncomfortable situation more uncomfortable.
Well,
For
maybe you'll feel like you'll know what it feels like to be in the supporter section, the north stand, where
okay,
they
I was
oversell
in
the
the support.
tickets.
I was in the supporter section
And you
with
know
you.
how it is now, right?
Yeah,
You weren't.
but
I wasn't at that game.
you weren't with me. I was with Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just feel like if they're going to start making more and more club, they're going to have to figure out ways because there's people paying $500 a seat for Northwest Club right now. Like that was if you join this year, that's about what you're paying. They're not going to stand for pack shoulder to shoulder, shove more people in. It's really become. It's actually kind of interesting if you were to ever stand outside Northwest Club at halftime. It is just a horde of people going in there, and everyone's putting their arms up. And
Yeah.
we've seen like even the vice president, the senior vice president from Inter Miami, like checking things because they're trying to keep the riffraff out. But yeah, I do. It's interesting, Mike. You made that
And I
comment just
still
because
find my way in sometimes.
there's ways. You think they'll put a midfield on the east side? I can see that. I mean, there's room under the stands to build
Well,
something, right? Like,
I can see them doing something like that if MFP gets delayed, so they're trying to make more money where they currently are. I
listen, you
don't
can
see
bring
them
in,
investing a
you
whole
can,
lot.
dude. You know how cheap it is. You could bring in a couple double wides, park them under there, call it a club.
Well, you could do that, right? You could fence stuff, and maybe that's the way they go. That'd be fine. But who knows? The club's going to do what they can to make more money. Is what they're going to
So,
do.
so one interesting thing, by the way, we've never discussed this, but everyone told us that the stands we got were F1 stands, right? That's where it was. But F1's happening in 2 weeks, and the stands didn't go away. So I don't know if that meant we actually bought them outright, and then like the Dolphins had to replace them. I always assumed we like borrowed them. Just my assumption based on nothing.
Um,
But obviously we have them permanently now. There's Vice City Lucas showing
there
up
he
a little bit late.
is. Oh,
Hey,
sorry, we both clicked on the same comment. Look at that, Vice City Lucas joining us. Like I said, guys, if you're not following him, please do. Content is really great. He does a great job, and you'll meet him if you come around the Green Lot tailgate with Siege and everybody else. Like he's around. But yeah, I don't know about those F1 seats. I don't know if that maybe we bought the bleachers from them and they replaced them because they
yeah, that's
maybe
what they
changed.
must have had to because obviously they're still unless they got no because May 5th we're playing the weekend of the F1, which was kind of interesting scheduling. I
Yeah,
thought.
but I think maybe they just had them in storage. So we were like, all right,
True.
let's buy it from them. And then they had time to replace it or something. They're very generic. It's not, I don't think it would be
By the
hard for them
way,
to
just
replace.
total random just occurred to me. Celebrity spotting. The May 5th game should be huge celebrities in the stadium because you have on Saturday night Messi, on Sunday F1. So like the Tom Brady's of the world, they're all going to fly in, and Michael Jordan's comes in for these races. He gets to see Messi the day before. Like there should be some good
I
celebrity
didn't
spotting
think
that day.
about that. That
Yeah,
would be
it just
cool.
occurred to me, but yeah, I would expect some really good celebrity spotting.
Yeah, that would be cool. We know we love a good celebrity spotting. But moving on to our next topic, right? Finally, this dude is here, Mateus Rojas. Whew, I felt like we talked about him for 2 months,
We did talk
and
about him. Like that wasn't an exaggeration. I think it was 2 months.
I feel it, man. And he's finally here, and you know, I'm extremely underwhelmed. I don't care.
So
I don't.
I want to be a little bright on this. He had his last stop. He had challenges at. Everyone kind of agreed that it
Okay.
was
But Mike, tell
challenges.
me on this graph on the right,
Oh, no, we've
what makes
examined the graphs.
you what makes you excited? What
I
what 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 do you think is
we
positive here?
What's positive is I want pace. He's supposed to have pace. People are excited about him. Let's get him on the field and let's see what he looks like. Like, I'm going to believe. I'm going to be positive. Oh, actually, I just pointed out my belief flag. Just realized I'm not on the frame.
All
But
right, hold on.
yeah,
Do it again.
I want to believe. I want to see. We need help. As we get into start talking about this week's game, we are playing a heavily rotated squad because of injuries and choices some of our players make about turf. And so we need to have guys that can step in. We need more attacking options. We never got a Frias replacement. If this guy can do it and be that additional attacking piece, let's give him a try. If it doesn't work out, then, well, we've got a whole long list of attackers at Inter Miami that didn't pan out.
Yeah, I mean, he comes on a free transfer, so I'm not upset about that. He's clearly not a DP. He's probably a low TAM guy. If he can come on and be depth, that's fine. I don't have high expectations for him. I know some people really do and love what they've seen, but nothing that I see stat line excites me. I don't know if it was Mike V or somebody in the comments section on our last episode who mentioned they watched his highlight reel and it was like 2 minutes long and it was him taking like Jean Mata shots from like field. But I'm not excited about it. I think we do need it. If we're going to make a run in MLS, because that's the only trophy that we can win right now outside of Leagues Cup, that's really going to make a difference. If we win MLS Cup, that's a bigger win than Leagues Cup. And I think that's what the goal is now.
I'm still concerned about who we lost here, and it's still not been announced. I'm on Inter Miami's
the
website
window's
right
closed
now.
though, man. Like they can't announce anything. And so what I'm wondering is and I was looking at it, and I know some people's rosters has Farias still counted on there. I'm wondering if he doesn't count as a roster spot. And so we didn't need to replace him.
Right, but if you go to our website right now, which I'm on, there's 31 people pictured, including Frias. You got max is 30. So let's assume you strike out Frias. We're still 30. And Rojas he's not on here yet.
Do homegrowns count as roster spots? Because I don't think
they use spots 24 through 30 or something like that. I know it's the weird MLS math here, but your total roster, as I understand it,
I don't know,
is 30 people. So I still think someone's got to go. I don't have a clue who it is at this point. There's been no rumblings, no rumors. Technically, just throw this out here, Rojas hasn't played an actual match yet. So until he does, maybe the person doesn't have to leave.
I mean, I guess like if USL, like let's say USL's transfer window is still open. I don't know what their transfer window is off the top of my head, but if their window's still open, technically we could still loan somebody out.
And I think, by the way, someone can call me wrong. It's the transfer window is really transfer in, not transfer out. And so we can still transfer someone out if we know we're going to do it.
If the other window is still open, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's like how EPL does it. That's how we got, I think, Campana, because the European window was closed, but ours was open, so they transferred him over from Wolves.
And then, Santi Morales. So we were discussing. Brandon and I were discussing this. I don't think you can just transfer people back to MLS Next Pro. Like I think that would be because come on, every time someone gets injured or something, just transfer them back to your MLS Next Pro. I could see instead us transferring him to what's the Spanish team that Moss owns? Zagora.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about though.
I don't remember. Yeah. Well,
so
the other thing is I could see a world where we can loan one of our players back to Inter Miami CF2, but then you can't call him up for those emergency loans, and he's just there. And so maybe that's
something's got to give, and we're gonna find out eventually what it is. And we did sign a bunch of these Zaragoza.
There he is, Joe with the save.
Man, we're both you and I are hitting high.
We're on it, Joe, man. Yeah. We're on it today.
So I just think we're gonna hear one of the young guys is going someplace. I just don't know who. I just hope it's not one of the more slightly well-known guys. I hope it's more like a Morales going back to IMCF2 or an Izzy going back to IMCF2. Like that's kind of what I'm just. Yeah. That's on where my head is on this one.
And so because those are homegrowns, there may be some like rule we can send them back to MLS Next Pro. We don't know. MLS is so freaking crazy, man.
So Sean's saying it's Robbie 100%. There was big rumors for a while Robbie was going to USL, and then he got injured again. Like the deal
Yeah,
was
he was
done.
supposedly gone to Battery.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it all fell apart when he got
But
injured
Tata
again. Poor guy.
loves Robbie. He does. Because as soon as that guy is healthy, he pushes Robbie for 90
Hey,
minutes.
listen, let's call out when Robbie was on the field and uninjured, he looked great, and then he got injured.
But the problem, so this is
But then he got
this is
injured.
the thing, and you know, this is my thing. Every other player that we bring back from injury goes through like stages and this and that. When Robbie Robinson is like the day he trains with the first team, the next day he goes 90 minutes and then he's injured for a
So,
year.
and as we get to talking into this week's match, so it's announced today. Robbie Taylor is training again. Campana is training again. Ian Frey is training again. We'll see it when we talk about lineups. I'm not putting any of them in my lineup. I'm hoping none of them
Oh
start.
no.
But are you telling me that I wouldn't put it past Tata to start Taylor specifically over Campana? Frey, there's not a reason to start, but I could see him starting Taylor in the exact situation you just described of the dude, the band-aid's off. That means he's ready for 90.
Yeah, I don't know if he starts Taylor.
I hope not, but I can
We'll
see it.
get
Like this
into
is a
that.
Mike
We'll get
V.
into
Like
that.
if we asked Mike V for his lineup, he's got Robbie Taylor there because that's a
And Mike
Tata
V,
level
you have
decision.
time to think about it. We've
Yeah.
got a couple of topics to hit before we go that. So we'd love to hear your lineup because you normally hit it.
By the way, Mike, you're saying Robbie takes up new resources. He does take up one resource, which is essentially a roster spot.
But
Like
you're
that.
right, because he's a generation Adidas player.
Yeah, he doesn't hurt the cap or anything, but he takes a spot.
Do generation
still
Adidas players take a roster spot?
Yeah, they all take a spot.
You sure?
98%. Because
Okay.
I did a
That's good
real
enough
round
for
of
me.
research. I did a whole bunch of research on Gen Z, the generation Adidas players, like what they are and
Z.
aren't, and it's still like they
God
again
help you.
24 to 30 or whatever the numbers are specifically
Yeah.
tied to these types of players, but they don't hit the salary cap. You can pay him more because he's making like 250. Robbie's making decent money.
I love it. Love it. A guy who's in the on the training table making more.
We're not
than me.
arguing.
Love
We're
it.
on the same page. All right. So what do we got next? What are we discussing next?
Nashville recap. We'll go quickly through this because we pretty much gave you our raw thoughts in our live video from the parking lot. But lineup was pretty much what we expected. Messi, Suarez up top, Gomez, Ruiz, and Busquets in the midfield. Negri, and Gressel in the midfield. Negri, Freire, Alves, and Weigand in the back, and then Calendar as always between the sticks. No surprises there, I don't think. But we can talk about it now. I don't know. I think we broke down all the action in our clip, but if there's anything
I would
you want
say
to dive into.
I'm not saying we could have lost this game, but Nashville missed a bunch of chances. We missed a bunch of chances. This was an ugly game against
Siri
two teams.
Mike. Siri said, generation players don't take up a roster spot.
Oh my God. Now we have to look at this again. If that's true, that actually answers the question.
Yeah.
But this was just a really ugly game. I was watching the recap again, the highlights, part of it. Nashville had some real quality chances. We had some quality. I mean, I thought Afonso was going to bag his second goal. I mean, he was clearly offsides. I'm not like arguing that, but like both teams had chances. Both teams had huge mistakes. For two teams that are supposed to be cream of the crop, I know Nashville's clearly not looking like it on the standings, but it was an ugly match. We were the better team. We deserved to win. Let me pull up my FM save real quick.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Mike, but Joe, you're absolutely right. That's how I learned about MLS roster rules as Football Manager. But to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, Mike, I think you're absolutely right. I think Nashville, when I watched the game back, I think Nashville looked better than what I thought. And you know who we didn't mention in our post-game review that I think had a spectacular
Hold
rebound
on.
game.
I now gotta say this. Sorry, I'm gonna interrupt. Slots 25 to 30 are for where a Generation Adidas player would go. I'm on the MLS rules website now. It's clear as day. It's a spot 25 to 30 player.
All right, Siri's wrong. Another reason why you should all buy an Android. But moving on.
Sorry. I just had to get this out now.
Drake Callender. I rewatched the game, and Callender had a hell of a game. And I think it's fair to say that the previous couple of games have not been some of his best performances. And I think he had a great game to limit them to Nashville to only one goal when Nashville had 5 shots on target, 13 total shots. They outshot us 13-10. But they also created 4 big chances, which when you're looking at statistics, like the big chances are things that should be goals, but your goalkeeper made a difference. We created 4 big chances and we scored 3 goals. So I think Callender did a really good job. And we didn't mention him because we were kind of more focused on the offense, right?
Yeah, and I think the ugliness of the game kind of hid his heroics. I'll also throw out, I think it's crazy that both teams had defenders make goal line stands. So you had Toto come back, amazing run back and sliding save it. And then there's the other one where I think it was Suarez. No, Diego kicks it. Gomez kicks it to Suarez across the front of the box. Suarez goes in for an easy tap in, and the defender right there to save it last second. I just thought it was. I always love that play. I love watching the goalie, like the goalie's out of position, the ball's going in the
Yeah.
net, and the defender saves it. And to see it on both sides, they were good replay, they were good like highlights. And it was again
Yeah.
a very enjoyable match, but a very ugly match.
I wouldn't say, yeah, I was gonna say I wouldn't say enjoyable. I think it
I
was
enjoyed
very
it.
ugly. Uh,
I enjoyed it.
I don't
I
know.
didn't
I
enjoy the people
enjoyed it
sitting next
more
to me, but I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it more in person than I did rewatching
Yeah,
it.
I can get that.
Rewatching it was a little bit it was boring, and I think I made the comment, in our post game videos, like, oh, things are getting a little stale. Tata should have made changes at 60 minutes. Things got stale a lot earlier.
Well, the players look tired, and again, Tata's game management is just horrendous. Like, I don't understand why at this point Javi Morales isn't sitting there going, "It's time to sub, Tata." Like, I'm making the sub. Someone's like, you know how in the NFL, or sorry, college football, usually the weight coach has to stay in front of the head coach.
And
He's the
hold his
pullback guy,
belt.
hold his
Yeah.
belt. Like, we need a pullback guy. We need a sub guy. His entire job is to tell Tata it's time for subs and to force him to make the sub because he's not going to do it on his own.
So I think there's a chance that Javi was a little bit confused, just like I was. I think he thought Tata was a sub and ready to go into the game. You know,
It's funny
Tata
that's
was
happened
wearing the
twice
bib.
now.
You know
That's
what?
it's
Like, I don't know, and it doesn't mean anything, but Tata wearing a bib, like, come on, the team's gonna wear black. Like, put on a pink fucking
so
polo,
here's the
man.
funnier thing. I don't think you know this. All of a sudden, we see it's about 10 or 15 minutes in the game before like we see the I don't know which guy it is. He's a little bit bigger. He's one of the guys who helps, like, he's a trainer. He's not like the Asian dude medic guy, but he's one of the trainers. He goes sprinting from the players like box all the way to where the warm-ups happen and comes back carrying one of the gray and the light gray, dark gray jackets and hands it to
Yeah.
Tata. And Tata looks at it like, no, I don't fit in one of these things. And that's when they gave him the bib because they didn't have any clothes on the sideline
Yeah.
that fit him. Here's my thing I would throw out there. Tata and all of us know what the players are going to wear before the game starts. It is a well-known
Yeah.
thing. Like, it's why is nobody in this club going Tata in his DILF outfit of New Balance shoes, black pants, black polo, tucked in polo, by the way, always going, hey, Tata, you didn't do a different polo
God.
today because they're wearing their Johnny Cash outfit. Like, someone needs to say this ahead of time.
So, and Sean, you're absolutely right. Anyone with any hours in Football Manager has a better game management than Tata. I've been encouraging Mike to play Football Manager because I think he would be really good at it. But he doesn't want to play it.
No, because I got this. this game on my phone. I'm obsessed with it. Joe, we were at a match 2 matches ago, and I was actually doing it. It's been around since 2014. It's called Township, and you have a little town, and I've gotten obsessed with this game. It's taking
Football
way too much of my
Manager's
time.
way better than this.
It
than
probably
that.
is, but this is my new obsession, and I've been playing for like a month now. Even my son goes,
Oh
"How many
my.
countries have you played this game in?" Like, my farm has to farm.
Oh, but I would
Sorry,
also
like,
argue that anyone who's shopped at like a TJ Maxx has better wardrobe management
oh, it's so
than
bad.
Tata.
It's
I miss so much Bill
say it,
Neville in his
say it.
suit
Yes,
on the sidelines, like looking like dapper as hell.
but
Even
even when he,
Diego Alonso
but
throwing on the
when
suit looking
Phil
dapper
sometimes he doesn't have the suit on, but he always looked good. Has a proper polo on, nice pair of
always.
pants,
When it
good
got hot
shoes.
out, he looked good, and it's just
It's
Joe.
he's not wrong. Like, I've literally done this before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, got to do stuff. I might be in the middle of the show. I'm
Oh
gonna go.
shit!
I got to do
Sorry,
some.
guys. He had to go. He had water plants.
I might do it real quick. My son makes fun of me, but no, Phil had style. Like, he always looked good. He clearly thought what he was going to wear for the game, and I, I I've said this before. I come from my first sporting love was college football, and I come from a world of college football. And one of the things in college football you hear constantly about is how the coaches, when they become coach, they've got stylists. They're giving all this clothes. They're encouraged to wear different stuff for different matches. And I always come to then I come to Inter Miami, and like, again, I'm calling it his DILF outfit. I'm just gonna stick with it. I'm hoping Joe makes an image, the DILF image, but it is just such a dad outfit.
Yeah, and I don't know. I anybody who knows me or follows me knows baseball's my first love. So I come from baseball where the manager dresses like the players. So I guess I should be more accepting of Tata's attire
So
with his bib.
on the one side I'll throw out there, New Balances are apparently cool again. I didn't know this until this week, and then I found out that New Balances are cool again. So Tata's got that going for him. You know, by the way, what manager has a really big shoe game? Like, he's known for his shoe
Oh,
game.
don't fucking say his name again,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, huge shoe game. He's really known for
Just shut up. We're moving on.
it.
I don't tell you that ever, but I'm gonna tell you that now.
That's the line. I can make fun of Liverpool, but I mentioned GGG, and you were just like,
You can't do both. You could do one in a show. You can't do both,
"That's
man.
fair.
It's
Okay, that's fair.
unfair.
That's fair."
Like, you know. I think the last thing we should mention talking about the Nashville game is obviously Diego Gomez's injury. Um,
6
a
weeks.
lot of 6 weeks, a lot of the first reports, like when we were in the stadium, I was checking Twitter, people were worried it was an Achilles. Thank God it's just, and it keeps him out 6 weeks, but thank God it's a level 3 ankle sprain.
Yeah, but I
Um,
heard I posted originally. That's not that bad. Someone actually said that is a tear, so it's a pretty
it is. It's a
significant.
slight tear. It's
It's
not a
pretty
full
significant.
tear.
My thinking is 6 weeks still means he's okay for the Olympics. He'll get back in shape. There's no way Paraguay is not taking the dude. Like, he was their beast in qualifying, so he's still going to go to the Olympics. We're going to suffer for a while without him. Just that's the reality.
Um,
But
I don't think we'll suffer for a while because Robbie Taylor is on the mend. I think Robbie
Diego
Taylor can slot into that,
Gomez was bringing
and
something special though. He was. It
he was
wasn't
bringing
just
something different, yeah.
yeah, because he's
But I
so
think when you
physical.
have like Ruiz and you have Taylor back healthy, I think you can kind of mask and kind of help cover up some of that
Yeah, but
with
Gomez,
him.
I get what you're saying. I don't want to. I'm not going to argue the point beyond. But like what Gomez also brought was that physicality that
Oh,
nobody on the team in the forward half of the field brings around. Messi's
no,
not
and I
an overly
agree.
physical. Suarez, he was a physical player, but he's not to that same level now.
Yeah,
Obviously, Campana Borgelin not playing. So Gomez was the only guy seeing regular minutes that brought a physicality that forced the defender to kind of get rough.
yeah, and I
And we've
agree with
lost that.
you.
That
Yeah,
is scary, and I think
I
that's a
agree with
problem.
you. I see. I'm less worried about it because I'm predicting probably the next 2 or 3 weeks we start seeing Redondo back with the team, and that I think we can bridge the gap until he gets there. Taylor, yeah, and Joe makes the perfect point. Taylor helps out because when he's up top, he tracks back, which is something Gomez is like all over the field.
Yeah.
Sean, and you bring up a great point too. Frey's brings that too, but I do not think we see Ian Frey for at least 6 or 7 games.
I
I
also
think we
don't know
see him
where,
get a good run at Inter Miami CF2 before we bring him up to the first team.
and I'll throw this out there. The only way we see Ian Frey back is if we go to a 3-5-2. So the way it makes
No,
sense.
I disagree.
Where do you see him playing? Who are you taking
I
off the field?
I think, and he hasn't played there for us yet, but just based off of some of the way he is with the ball and things, I think he could play in a more advanced midfield role.
But who are you taking off the field to make that happen?
I think it's possible because Gomez is out for 6 weeks, then he's out for the Olympics.
But,
I think it's possible you see him kind of slot in as a more
okay,
advanced
so you're not saying
midfielder
he's a
to
best
replace for
11.
Gomez.
He's a
No,
rotational player, not a best 11 guy. I can accept that argument.
and I think he's better in the attack than he is in the defense because when he was healthy, you and I have had conversations where we were like, he's advancing the ball. He was the only one under Phil Neville playing aggressively, moving the ball forward. And we all remember that goal against Vasco da Gama, like in his first like couple minutes back from ACL surgery. So I think he has the potential to play a more advanced role. I think with Redondo, it kind of eliminates the possibility of him playing a center CDM role. But I also don't see him as I don't see him as a center back in this. And I could be completely wrong. But if we have Freire and Alves at the back, I think we're good. I don't think we need to go to a back three.
Well, here's my thing. I think we will. Because Tata wants it. Like, we know he wants to go back to us. So my buddy's at dinner today. I guess Javi Morales is going to be there. And he goes, Mike, what should I tell Javi? I'm like, tell him never to let Tata go back to a 3-5-2. I think he will. I think Frey is the answer to do it. But to everyone's a point, I think it's going to be a while before we see it.
Yeah, I think
Plus, our
I think
midfield's so crowded. Like, he's more likely to get time at CB than at CM right now.
well, and that's why I'm saying, like, I think his timeline for return probably corresponds to like Olympics and Copa, where we start seeing players missing because they're on international duty. And I think he could maybe slot into positions like that because I really do believe he gets at least 4 or 5, maybe even 6 game run at Inter Miami CF2 before he's integrated fully back into like match ready first team, kind of like what we saw happen with Negri.
So I'll take your idea, and I'll take something that I think Sean just said and run it with his. Frey could play the position that right now Busquets is playing, which is that CDM center back role of at some point you're tracking back on defensively, but you're also going to be the guy advancing the ball. Him being that guy to step in, like kind of with Bright as alternatives, does seem like but again, goes to he's a rotational piece right now. He's definitely not probably
No.
not best 11.
And you wouldn't want him to be best 11 right now. I think he has the potential to be best 11, but I think at this point you really ideally want him to be a spot starter with a super sub
Yeah.
mindset. Like we need to treat him very carefully and let him like slowly integrate back into this
But it'd be
team.
nice to have these kind of subs again, right? We don't have them right now.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine Ian Frey coming on in the 60th minute? Like
No, because Tata's our coach, so he wouldn't bring him on anyway.
all right. Can you imagine Ian Frey coming on in the 89th minute?
That makes sense.
But yeah, so that's some good that came out of this week is we got players. Oh, hold on. We had players on the team of the week. Obviously, Messi made it with his 2 goals. But on the bench was Sergio Busquets, who I think quietly had a very good game, in addition to scoring the other goal of the match.
So
Which is
it's
great to see.
funny. I saw some like, oh, Messi again. I'm like, wait, he did have 2 goals. Like he absolutely deserves by any MLS Team of the Week criteria to be
This is
on
the
it.
more. This is might be the more deserving of the ones he's been nominated
Yeah.
for.
But and to be fair, I think every time he's been on there, he's had a goal. It's just kind of so commonplace that he's always there. I think Chicho Rango probably has as many Team of the Weeks now as Messi because he's winning the Golden Boot race. But yeah, it was one of those things. At first, I was kind of annoyed by it. I'm like, no, wait, this is right. He should be there. Like, damn right, he gets it because 2 goals is a pretty darn good stat line.
Yeah, yeah, and I thought he deserved it, and I thought it was cool to see Busquets on the bench because when I went back and watched the game, I was like,
That header was
you know what,
beautiful.
he absolutely deserved it. Well, besides the header, I think he did a really good job of stabilizing the midfield because I think Gressel and Ruiz and didn't really offer a whole lot. And Gomez obviously leaving in the 41st minute injured left a hole. And I think
Yep.
it could have very easily been like Inter Miami of old where we folded after Gomez got hurt. We didn't see that. I think
Well,
Busquets had a lot to do with that.
yeah, but don't take that away from Afonso. He's a little like menace.
He's
Like
yeah.
he's a ball of energy. He comes in and he's going to shake up a game.
Yeah. We definitely nailed that super draft pick for sure.
We really did. We had a good draft with him and Bright.
Yeah.
There was a guy between
Absolutely.
their picks that we haven't seen much of, but
Yeah.
so I got a funny story from this game, by the way. So everyone knows I sit right above the player box. And normally it's Busquets' wife, Alba's wife, Messi's wife, and the kids are all running around. The wives are yelling at them. It's kind of funny to watch because they are just like us, except their clothes is worth more than how much money I'll make this year. But Alba was in the box this week, and the kids were harassing the hell out of Alba. And anyone who's a dad who's come home from a long day at work, like in a classic nuclear family, come home from and like your kid's annoying you, you kind of look at your wife like, hey, can you handle this? And the wife kind of gives you that look of, no, you're home now. You're a part of this. Like, you don't get to run away from it. His wife was doing that to him. So as Alba's trying to like watch the game, be serious, and he's looking at his wife to come help him, his wife's like, no, dude, I've got my wine. I'm happy as can be. You're dealing with this for once. You usually get out on the field. I was laughing so hard. My wife and I were sitting there just cracking up over it because it was such a human dad moment of, I'm watching the game, honey. Like, make this stop.
Ooh,
Random stories from Mike. I just had to show it was so
love
funny
it.
to me.
I love it. I think it's pretty funny too. But next
So Jeff just threw this up. There's the amount of pre-substitution instructions. It wasn't as bad in this game, though I saw a lot. The game before, where like Kromowski's trying to come on, and he's getting a huge amount of substitution by the bench, and Tata's like going, hey, like, why aren't you here yet? And then finally he gets up to Tata to go in, and Tata gave him another 5 minutes of instruction. Right. I do see Jeff's point of like, it feels like you shouldn't need that much. A lot of this should be handled on the practice pitch and tactics. Like, it shouldn't be that moment. You have to give him an entire book to digest.
I wouldn't mind it if it was good instruction, and obviously Tata's not giving him good instructions. So yeah, it is a problem. But before we get into the Revs game, we kind of threw in a new segment, see if you guys like it. It's kind of like Inter Miami around the league and what the league is kind of saying about us after this match day. So the first thing, and I'll be honest, I had no clue that this was the thing that they were doing, is the 22 under 22, the young players of the match day. And our very own Thomas Alvarez is on that list. And I think he absolutely deserved to be on there because he was the better of our center backs in this game.
Yeah,
And I
no,
thought
he
that was
played
pretty
great.
cool.
Saved us a goal. It's hands down saved a goal. He's all over the
Yeah.
place. I think he's playing beyond his 18 years. He's not
Yeah.
perfect. He still makes mistakes and he's still hot-headed, but he's the
seeing him
defender.
mature, though.
He's the defender we were sold. Like, we were told this is the kid, he was going to be good, and I think we're seeing that.
Yeah, he's a young DP, and we were told he was going to be good, and I think that's what we're seeing. The other interesting thing I see here, that I saw that I just had to throw in here, and I don't give a lot of like credence to power rankings, but we're number 2 in MLS's power rankings, which is pretty interesting considering, Columbus Crew and New York Red Bulls. Red Bulls, who we supplanted, by the way, they were number 2 and dropped this week. Them and LA Galaxy are probably, LA Galaxy is higher than us in the table, but it's interesting to see that.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's hard to say it's not deserved. We are sitting top of the table. We are
Right.
beating their teams up. Columbus Crew won. I just want to point out they are now sitting at 2-1 in their match versus Monterey right now on the 78th minute. So
It was
that
the
number
home
one, the
leg
power
for them,
rankings
though,
does
right?
feel like that's probably pretty safe. This is first leg.
Yeah, so they were home, right? Or was
Yeah,
it
they're
in
home on this
Monterey?
match. They're home this match, but still, listen.
They won in Monterey against Tigres.
Yeah, like
So
if they can take a lead into Monterey, that's huge.
yeah, that's definitely good for them and good to see. And I can't argue with them being number 1.
Hi.
Oh, it's Tej.
Hi.
Tej, my man.
Hi, Branton.
How you doing, man? I know
How you
you
doing?
can't
He's
hear
asking.
me.
Good.
Good. All right.
Bye now.
Yeah. Always, we always got to have a someone stop by.
Yeah, special guest. But and then just rounding out the match week, something we're going to start doing is showing the conference standings. Now that we've had a good amount of games, most teams have played 9 games. Somehow, as Mike pointed out to me, I didn't even realize this. Philadelphia's only played 7.
7. Yeah,
Most
Philadelphia is the best team in the East right now, points per game. I'm interested to see how that kind of shapes up. But Miami's sitting number 2 in points per game. So that's been my listen. If you're a longtime listener to the show, or as long as we were around, that has been my argument of like we're low back on points per game. So, okay, we're sitting at second right now. Like we've been beating up not good teams, and we're going to go beat up another not good team.
well, then Philadelphia's only played 7 games. So if they make up those 3 games in hand, they might most likely would be higher than us.
Yeah.
Let's be fair.
Listen,
But we're number 1 in
Grant,
the
I got to
East
step away
right
for
now.
I got to stay away for 2 minutes.
Yeah, go
Be
ahead.
right back.
Go ahead. Yeah. No, so like I was saying, we're top in the East. And for 2 guys who were sitting here and telling you guys like, "Oh, we got to fire Tata and stuff," I wanted to add the league standings because I think it's important not to lose perspective because honestly, MLS Cup or Supporters Shield, one of those 2, is probably the most important trophies that we're in for. We've won Leagues Cup, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how big a deal it is to win that again. It would be cool to say we're the only team that's ever won it and go 2 years in, but um, yeah, eh, Joe, yeah, I agree with you. We're first for right now. Once everybody catches up in those games played, we definitely won't be first. But I think at least from what I expected, like this season, I expected us, and I'll throw it back up there just so we can see. I expected us to be 7th or 8th in the East. That's where I kind of thought we would be, and we would hover around. And I thought we would just sneak into the playoffs, and once we made the playoffs, we'd make a run. What it looks like is we're probably taking this season a lot more serious than I thought we would be because we don't have any other tournaments to focus on right now. We've been eliminated from CCC. We're not participating in Open Cup, and Leagues Cup doesn't start till July. So here we are, first in the East, and I'll take it for now, man. I'll be happy if we finish above 7th, because that's really where I thought we would finish. So if we can move along because we'll get Mike's take when he comes back. I don't know what's going on there, but jumping right into the Revs match, right? Their last game, they lost 1-0 to Toronto. If you look at the stats for their last game, it wasn't great. They wasn't great. Yeah. They controlled most of possession. They had more shots on goal, or more shots, less shots on goal, more block shots. I don't know how they had 8 corners and Toronto had 0 corners, and they didn't at least sneak one in there. But Revs are a horrible team. They deserve to be last in the East. Even with their games in hand, they probably still would be last in the East. And so here we are. Coming up against them, I think very easily we should be able to handle them. I don't know what Mike thinks about that. Oh, never mind, Mike's gone. So anyway, yeah, I think I don't oh man. John, you're hitting me with some dreams here. Yeah, the trouble was realistic, but no one did care. No one on the team cared. The fans definitely cared. And Joe, I agree. With no CCC or CCL, but CCC this year, we got to go for the Shield and we got to go for MLS Cup. I don't think the Shield is realistic, but I do think MLS Cup is.
I'm not going saying the Shield's not realistic anymore. And I was a big don't worry about the Shield guy. We're doing what we have to do to make the Shield possible, which is we're earning the points where we have to earn them. If we keep on doing it, it's possible. But New England's a good example of we got to take a rotated squad up to New England against a very bad New England team, and we have to win.
Yeah.
And so if we do this and we win these games, and we can steal a few points on the road against some of the bigger opponents, then when Messi's not here, we'll still be able to steal points.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's impossible. I don't even think it's unrealistic. Would I place money we're going to do it? No, absolutely not. I'm still sitting on 0 trophies this year. I'm not changing that bet.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible.
And so what are I'll bring up the lineups that you put on for the Revs and kind of let you break down what you think's going to happen, because I think you and I are pretty
I put up 2
similar on this.
lineups, basically same players but different lineups. Let's start out with Suarez isn't going to play. It's pretty much been confirmed. There's no one thinks he's going to play. Messi will not start, I don't think. I'm saying this definitively. Obviously, the club can do whatever they want, but both of them don't want to play on turf against what's essentially a very bad squad. Like, we should be able to take our B squad and go do it. Avas and Frere kind of anchoring either lineup. If we do a 3-5-2, I think we'll see Sailor 2, Negri and Cello on the wings, on the wing backs. In midfield, if it's a 3-5-2, we'll have Ruiz, Busquets, Gressel. Not a lot of changes there. Busquets played on every different pitch we saw. He was kind of our Iron Man last year. If we do a 4-4-2, we'd bring Kramaski in. And then up front, Afonso definitely. I think the question is, would Rojas start immediately, or do they put Bojan in? Now, again, I'm not factoring in Taylor to start, Campana to start. We didn't even know they were starting when I wrote these up yesterday and this morning. But I think you likely see Rojas start. I think that's something Tata would do, is just throw him in, have him play with Afonso, and go from there. But it's going to be a very rotated squad, but winning has to happen. That's interesting, Sean. Don't think Cello's going to play. We don't have another right back. I mean, that is one of those weaknesses on this team, is there's not a substitute right back. He's a guy who has to play, in my opinion. I don't think he gets a choice not to play. He's not making the salary where he gets to say he doesn't play on a rug.
I don't think that's why he doesn't play. If he needs a rest, I think we can put Ruiz in there, and he's shown that he's a decent right back. But jumping back to what you were saying, about oh god, my train of thought's gone. But yeah, no, I pretty much agree with your starting lineup. Like, I really don't have anything that I think. Yeah, no.
I
The
think we
only
were going
thing
back
I
and
will
forth.
say is Rojas. I don't know if he starts right away. I can see Alfonso starting in that role with maybe a Campana, because Campana hasn't really been out that long, and I feel like he could go at least 60 today or this week.
I think if you don't start Rojas, I think you start Borgelin. He's healthy.
Maybe.
We've seen Tata play him. That's where I had him kind of one or the other. But again, I just think everyone's be prepared. Like now, Messi will play, in my opinion. He's going to go in around the 60th or 70th minute,
Yeah.
or in Tata. Like he's going to play so that MLS can say he played.
Mhm.
I don't expect a lot of minutes, and that's a smart thing to do. Now, I will throw this out there. I expect us to be down. I expect us to be to not score the first goal and possibly not score a second, like a 1-0 or 2-0 game against us, and us having to claw our way back. It's kind of the Inter Miami way, and it's going to be Inter Miami way definitely with this squad. So if at halftime we're in 2-0, Messi goes in earlier. But if it's 2-1, 2-2 at that point, and we'll hold out to the 60th or 70th minute before they kind of get a win
Yeah.
there. But I expect us to win this 3-2. I'm just throwing this out. I do think we'll win 3-2, but I do think we're gonna have to climb out of a hole.
See, I don't see that. I'm predicting a 2-1 win because I think our B team goes up against their best 11, and New England's made some good additions. They brought in God, what the hell's his name from Seattle? Decent midfielder.
Reyes.
Reyes, I think.
Yeah.
Decent midfielder. Brought in a new keeper. I don't know how much they'll impact this game, honestly, because they haven't had time to integrate with the squad there. But I do think, our B team against their starting 11 will win. I expect us to have 2 goals, and then I think we let in like a garbage time goal towards the end.
See, so by the way, Mike V predicting Allen's going to get the start, and last time he predicted this, he was right. So this is a bold prediction from him.
I'll be honest, I forgot about Kristoff.
I don't think he's healthy. Oh, I think he was playing. So Sean Gill always plays good against us. They didn't have 3 against us. Listen, every team's going to bring their best against us, and beating up like the newspapers don't say. Or the newspapers, got it, dating myself. Like the articles don't say you beat up Inter Miami when Messi didn't play. It's going to say you beat Inter Miami, and so I think they bring their best against us. And frankly, almost every game, the first 10 or 15 minutes we play is just horrible. We're not in the game. We don't look like we've ever seen a soccer pitch before. And Nashville really should have been up 2-0. Like the first goal they scored, they clearly deserved to score. Though it was an own goal from Negri. And then
what first goal did they score? Because they didn't score any goals, buddy.
Nashville?
We scored the goal for them.
Okay, well, I did say own goal. I said it.
Yeah,
but they should have scored again on us. And then Toto saved our butts with just a brilliant. I mean, the fact he stopped it was great. But just how he tracked back was fantastic. I'm expecting New England to score. Like I am. I'm not scared of it. I'm not trying to be negative, but I expect them to score. I'll keep on saying this. I expect most of our games to be 3-1,
Well,
3-2.
yeah. I don't expect us to keep a clean sheet either, but I do think the goal comes in like garbage time. I think we've already safely put the game away, and I see a 2-1 win. Joker, I was with you, man. I was with you at a 3-1 win earlier this week, but thinking about it with our B team going, I am kind of thinking 2-1, but comfortable. It won't be like a nail biter.
Now, just to be clear, I'm going to be watching this game from Hollywood Studios. So I will be mostly getting, I probably won't, I don't think I'll be eating dinner. I think I'm already done with dinner. So I'll probably just walk around the park and have an earpiece in. So promise me I'll be texting you if they score earlier than that. They're like, I told you so. Called this shit.
That's fine as long as we win.
I think it's not even believing. Like, if we don't win this game, I think it brings back the Tata out hard.
No,
Because our squad is still better than New England's.
I'm always on the Tata out train, but I think it heavily depends on who plays and what roster you run out. Suarez clearly isn't going to play. Messi, I don't think should play major minutes. I would even pull Busquets. I wouldn't put Busquets on there. In my opinion, I wouldn't put Busquets on there. That's just me. I'm fine sacrificing the games that we play on turf to focus on the games that we don't.
I am fine with all that, but we still have enough quality players, and New England has been that bad this year that any manager not named Tata or Poach probably can win this match. And so that's where I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, if we were to lose this match, I think it
I
does reinvigorate some of those conversations.
I agree with Joker here. It's our B team. Can't kill him if we lose, but it'll look bad. It will look
Oh,
bad.
it's
And I
gonna look bad.
agree. But I don't know. I mean, if you're on Tata out, like train like we are, I don't think you go back. You haven't gone back yet.
But obviously the noise quieted. We got 6 points out of the last 2 games. They were decisive win. Well, decisive might be a little strong, but they were clear wins.
Yeah.
Like the noise got quiet. But if we lose, I think the noise is going to speak up. And you'll hear is all Tata vendors going, "Oh, there was no Messi, there was no this," and I'm going to be sitting there going, 15%, 15% when he doesn't play, and our boy at Batter Heron's yelling at me for using percentages. It's a whole I can see that it's all going to play out. But we're going to win. It's not going to happen.
I don't know why you can't say his name. His name's Danny.
Yeah, but if I say Danny, no one knows who. If I say the Batter Heron's guy, oh yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that is his Twitter handle, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
but
anyway. Batter
anyway,
Heron's.
So Mike's at a 3-2 win. I'm at a 2-1 win. So we'll see who's right. I think we definitely win. There's no way we can walk away without a win.
No, it's a huge
it.
fail, and I do think then it goes back to my previous statement. If we can't win this game with a B team, supporter shield is out of the picture. Like these are the matches we have to win. We have to win these matches.
These are the ones you have to win supporter shield. It's not because everybody shows up for the big games. Like Messi, like against LAFC, now with Gerard or Giroud, they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come out for that game." But against New England Revolution, against Charles Gill and
we've seen guys we do play down to our competition.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to say, if you tell me LAFC Miami final, Messi versus Giroud, like I am so on board that idea. Like I like the idea of 2 flashy teams playing each other. I'd rather see 2 flashy than a Columbus Crew. I like Columbus Crew. I have respect for them. I don't really enjoy watching their games.
Well, I want to see the Columbus Crew would not be in the.
No, but I'm saying like that type of team, like even a Seattle. Like I don't want to see us go play Seattle.
LA's in 7th. They could make a run.
They could, and they're a team that, especially with Drew, and you get him into the playoffs, and they will be able to work their way through.
Yeah, but
and if they're in 7th, by the way, that would mean we'd get a home match probably.
If you put next to me, if you said you could have Giroud or Suarez, who are you taking?
Man, if you asked me this 2 months ago, it's Giroud. Like hands down. Come on, he can even play backup keeper. I think
right now you have that FIFA card, don't you?
I don't, but I wish I did. I'm gonna go with Suarez. I think he's in form. He looks great. Giroud's gonna be coming off of a very competitive season. He's kind of be where Messi was last year, where he's gonna be tired, kind of down, and then kind of keep on playing. I think that's gonna be a challenge.
Giroud's gonna be dangerous next year.
That was gonna be my statement. Next year, Giroud all day. I just think he's gonna be presumptive Golden Boot nominee.
Him and Suarez will be duking it out next year, I think.
That's another year on
Because if you think about it, Suarez was coming off right at the end of the Brazilian league, and he's doing this. Imagine what he's going to do with an offseason with
At some point, Suarez is going to get old. And I don't know when that's going to happen, but at some point it's going to happen.
As Suarez gets old, you know what we do? We call up Fernando Torres and we be like, listen, man.
Dude, call up Mbappe.
No, we don't need Mbappe. Fernando Torres. If you've seen that man lately, you and I should both be able to agree that Fernando Torres should come. He's retired, but that guy is like fighting UFC and shit now. Like that guy is chiseled.
At some point they get old.
Chelsea
man.
and Liverpool,
I know you don't,
man.
I know you don't want to accept that Suarez is going to get old one day, but one day he's going to get old, and then one day he's going to die. Old people die. That's what they do.
Mike, Jesus Christ.
That was a movie quote. I don't know. Let's see if any of our people recognize it.
Jesus Christ. But
it was old. Old people die. That's what they do.
Moving on. moving on to that from that depressing shit.
Jeez.
To our
Come on,
final
someone's got to know
section,
who it is.
to our final topic for the night. And this is just stuff that other teams are doing around the league that I think is awesome. And I think is and if Mike, you have to start looking for some of these, man.
You do such a
Because I
good
keep saying
job at it.
hi. Like
Yeah,
I
no,
found
you
some
did.
really cool stuff this week.
You did.
Yeah. And I I should say we found this stuff that's going
No,
on.
you did.
And
You found it. I'll give you all credit. You
I
take
scour,
the credit.
man. I really like to see what other teams are doing,
Yeah,
what
this
other
is like your
fan bases get to
this
see.
is your passion project, and I
It is.
appreciate that, and I don't want to take
It
that away
is.
from you.
All right. Well, if you see something cool, shoot it to me. Joe
Oh,
Curse found that food scrant.
I was about to say that's the thing you
Sweet.
forgot. You didn't do the food thing.
I didn't put it in there because this was more like
So for those who
I
not
don't know.
Kansas Sporting KC has like a pizza box of food. It's like 2 burgers, fries, some
No,
chicken
it's
tenders.
more than 2 burgers. It's Joe Kerr can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 6 sliders, mozzarella sticks,
I think there's some
tater
French fries.
tots, French fries, and onion rings for like $26.
I think it was 34, but still, it was amazing. There it is. Oh, sorry, $25. I take it back. 6-piece sliders, mozzarella sticks, onion rings, and fries at Sporting Kansas City. It was impressive, and
Yeah.
I paid
Yeah.
$13 for a hot dog at an IMCF2 game recently.
And you
Most hot
charged
dog
one
ever
of
had.
our dear friends.
I did not charge. I told him he didn't have to pay me back. He paid me back, but
He's
See.
a good guy. But anyway,
thank you, Mike V. Thank you, Mike V. It was an old school quote directly from the movie. I appreciate Mike V, my boy. Recognize the quote.
Mike V, hopefully you're gonna be there for the May the 4th game, man. Come
With
by
his,
and see us. I was hoping
with
to
his
see you the
capris.
last game. Yeah, bring them. But jumping back to like the stuff that's going around the league that I think is really awesome that I would love to see us do more of. First tweet on the left is from Minnesota United. They have a player Bonji from South Africa, and he actually went out for Freedom Day, which is the day that they gained independence from Great Britain. And he went out and went to their local South African congregates, which is South African, or no, I'm sorry, it's Africa Class Con, and they're they're a group that raises money to put schools and stuff in Africa and to help educate students there. And he went out to their Freedom Day celebration. He signed like balls. There's music, food, dancing, and then donated money and like really awesome cause to get involved with. Um, the one in the middle, Seattle Sounders, hosted I'm sorry, I shouldn't say hosted. For Earth Day, they went out to one of the local elementary schools and did activities with the kids. Players were out there. They were trying to like show how sports can positively impact the environment instead of negatively impact it, and like just trying to help underserved communities and kind of show them that there's a path forward. And the last one on the right here is from the New England Revs, who were playing in Foxborough. And they for this game they're doing a really cool giveaway that I wish we would do. It's a mini scarf giveaway. So Gillette and the New England Revs logos are on one side, and on the flip side is the logos of all their supporters groups, all 6 of them on there with the Revs logo in the center, front and center, ready to go to pick up when you come into the game, which I think is freaking awesome that they're connected to the stadium or to the fans like that. And the Revs are also doing they're doing a box giveaway for their fans that I originally had on here, but changed it last minute when I saw this giveaway because they're like, hey, you want to come see Messi? Let's do this giveaway, and they're giving up a box for like you and like 12 of your friends can come for free and see the game, which
The
I think
Revs
is
are also
awesome.
doing the Revs are also doing match day scarves for Messi coming to town and shirts.
Yeah,
Which
and
I guess that's someone's. I was following the Twitter thread.
European thing.
I've been to European games now. I didn't see. Well, I guess one I did. It was a national game. I didn't see that when I was at Chelsea recently, so I didn't know that was a thing. But
Like the little booths and stuff that are outside the stadium normally have them. It's not like you can buy it in the stadium.
oh yeah, I did see
Yeah.
that. Actually, when I went to the LAFC match, I got an LAFC Miami scarf from like a bootleg one, but I've never seen it
Yeah.
from a club.
I would love to get my hands on one. I think it's cool.
The LA when I went to LAFC, I got a bootleg one. It was awesome. I have it. It's hanging in
I'm
TJ's room. Actually, I think.
I'm a big scarf guy. I've got like our inaugural scarf. I've got like scarves from Liverpool. I've
I
got
have
our
yet. My only thing with scarves is I've yet to find a way to hang them that you can show a bunch of them without taking up a ridiculous amount of space.
oh, man, my office is such a mess. Otherwise, I would show you.
But I'm sure it's taking up half your wall.
No, it's on the back of my door. It's on the back of the door to the office, and it fits 3 scarves on each row, and there's hangers, and I have 3 different hangers, so I get 9 scarves on there. I have Liverpool in my inaugural season scarf on the top, then Black Herons, Green Lot, Siege, U.S. national team, our Carolina Challenge Cup team, and then Liverpool Tottenham Champions League scarf.
So Sean's saying we live in a swamp. Scarves left. The summer scarves, super lightweight, nice.
Sean,
That's
you've
where a lot
never
of
run into me on a game. I wear a scarf to every game. I have a Siege scarf or a Green Lot Gang or a Black Heron scarf. I wear it every game.
And they're all
The
summer. They're
scarves
all
are
summer scarves.
perfect. Yeah, yeah. I think one game I wore the inaugural season scarf for Inter Miami. That is like a thick, like real scarf, and I almost died.
We were at I forget which game it was. One of the games was actually kind of cold this year, and I had brought a scarf with me, and my
Our
wife took it
first
because like
game.
my wife's taking my scarf to actually wear as a scarf because she's freezing.
Yeah,
But we went to the Chelsea match in over spring break. It was cold, and we all had our scarves on tucked in, keeping us like as intended.
yeah. No, but the summer scarves are great, and you know, I 100% recommend them. If you're part of a supporters group, I think they all have summer scarves now.
Yeah.
So definitely join and try and get one. But yeah, they're great. I wear them every game, and I'd be lost without them. I try to mix it up every game too. I have a rotation. It's normally like Siege, Green Lot, Black Herons. Maybe I'll wear the Carolina Challenge Cup on the 4th. Maybe I'll mix that up.
No one gets the reference.
But that's the
Our
point.
It's our first trophy. For
I'll
a long
wear
time, it was
Green
our
Lot,
only
I think.
trophy.
Yeah.
I've got mine. Where's mine? There it is. Which is also a summer scarf. Carolina.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's why I said I'd wear it. Because my US scarf is it's from the centennial or the bicentennial, whatever it was, when we had the original the original badge with the 13 stars on it. So it's the 13 stars around. Yeah.
What's cool about this scarf is that there's a pink line on it. They put it for each team. They got their own colored line.
Yeah.
So that was a nice way to recognize who was there. So
yeah. The second we won that thing, I went on that website and ordered it.
Yep, we
I
all
still
did.
get emails from the Battery asking me to go to games.
They were just down here. I mean, that's how IMCF Traveler became Bad Luck Traveler. He went up to the game, liked the team, and eventually supported them.
Yeah, I would have loved to go to their game against Miami FC.
My FC.
That'd have been cool. But we had a game the same night, so I didn't. But any final thoughts for the people, Mike?
It is weird not having midweek games. Like I kind of miss it, but I kind of don't. I will call it.
Suck.
We don't. I mean, we don't suck right now. Like, we have to acknowledge we're
okay. I hate that we sucked earlier in the season and we don't have midweek games.
Columbus did win 2-1. I will kind of quotation mark that. If we didn't go down a player that game, we 2-1 or 2-2 it. So I will be curious next Wednesday to see what they do in Monterey. That's a game I think we're staying up for because if they win it, it's going to be huge.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll give them a good boost up to winning the whole thing, but we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in MLS teams against Mexican teams right now, but
I
could be
don't, but
wrong.
if you're telling me Columbus Crew is going to play in Club World Cup, that might be one of the few teams that can actually not get their butts kicked. I'm not using the term win. I'm just saying not get destroyed by every team there.
See, and I had this conversation with somebody at the tailgate. I told him like I'm not ready to have that conversation because we don't even know what the draw is yet. Like all the MLS teams could get like Serie A champions, we could get Premier League champions, we could get uh, we just you don't know. It's not like we're going to get drawn against the Asian champion and have a fighting chance. Like we could get like a Real Madrid or a Chelsea or whatever and get our asses kicked.
So I just made me think like, is AC Milan going to play? Is Pulisic going to come finally playing in MLS Stadium? And no, AC Milan is not in it, so they will not be making it.
But they're also I don't think there are MLS stadiums on the. But we don't know that either, do we?
I don't think we know that yet either. But you're probably right. They're probably not, but I don't think they've determined
No, I
that
would
yet.
guess. I'm gonna guess that it's probably the World Cup stadiums, and I think it's like that's because that's what they don't normally do that. They normally do what is it, Confederations Cup as the warm up event
Yeah.
for World Cup. So maybe they'll do that as the warm up event for the host stadiums. That would make the most sense. But it's
It is
FIFA, so they probably won't do that.
It is amazing though. We're going to get Chelsea, Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern, PSG, Inter Milan, Dortmund, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, all playing competitive matches in the United States, which really never happened before. I think that's gonna be super cool. It's gonna be a fun. Next summer's gonna be a fun summer.
I'm gonna be a big unless Inter Miami's somehow like if we win the Supporter Shield and we win MLS Cup, I think there's a path to us getting that extra invite. Then they can justify giving it to us. If not, I am 100% backing Dortmund. I'm gonna go for Dortmund in that. So Joe, I take back my nice comment about Chelsea. Sorry.
Well, I still think it's cool. We're gonna have them playing here. So,
It's gonna be
by
cool.
the way,
Yeah.
there is a chance that Philadelphia Union, if Monterey win, Philadelphia Union actually gets the CCC spot this year. The way it kind of plays out, so we
Yeah.
could end up with 3 MLS teams in this, depending on what happens, which would be
That would be cool.
it'd be cool. Yeah, if history is our guide, it's not that cool because they're just gonna get their asses whooped. But yeah,
Well, so brutally honest, I think there's very little chance that Inter Miami does not participate in this
that's
event.
that is a bold
We have
conspiracy laden theory.
we have that one at large spot that CONCACAF is allowed to award to a team because they are the host nation. And how the hell do you not have this tournament and not just say we want Messi for the ratings?
I
They
it's
can do
so
it.
wrong. It's so messed up.
You
It
know
feels
it's gonna
so right.
happen. It
Yeah, I
feels so
know.
CONCACAF, doesn't it?
I won't say it feels so CONCACAF, though it is. Especially if you ever get into what CONCACAF is, it feels so Don Garber.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Don's calling the shots. It's really CONCACAF. CONCACAF doesn't give two shits about Don Garber.
No, because at that point now it's you really got FIFA's calling the shots, right? FIFA's gonna tell CONCACAF what to do,
Yeah.
and FIFA wants this. And also remember, I don't know if you watched the Super, what the Super League, the Apple Super League show, and one of the big things they're making was Super League's real competitor is CONCACAF is Club World Cup. That FIFA wants Club World Cup to be the thing. They want to make the UEFA Champions League less of a thing and Club World Cup a thing. And to protect it, that's where the Super League's coming in. Anyway, if you want to make Club World Cup the thing that everyone watches, you kind of need Messi.
Yeah. Because I don't think Ronaldo. I don't think he's qualified for that. Is he? Is Lobster on there?
No,
No.
but are they still eligible? No, they're not still eligible.
And PSG is only
PSG
eligible if they win, right?
No, PSG's in there.
They're in.
Yeah, Mbappe will be here. No,
So
he'll be with Madrid anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, so he'll be here anyway.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, he's going.
Either
way.
way.
Yeah, PSG did make it, but I assume you were thinking of Mbappe. He'll be playing for Real Madrid next year.
Yeah,
well, that's what everyone
exactly
assumed.
what I was thinking. So I listen. I think they find a way to get Messi into this tournament, and the only at-large bid is from our federation. There's no way they don't pick. They don't pick us. Let's be real. And I think what we need to do is we need to win at least one, if not two trophies this year to give CONCACAF the cover. Because if we win League's Cup, then it's very easy for CONCACAF to be like, oh, yeah, they won our Champions League twice or our mini Champions League twice. 2 times in a row, we can bring them in. That gives them cover. Or if we win, 2 of the 3 trophies we're in for, then they can say, okay, well, they were really competitive this year. And so for the World Cup, they'll be good.
Yeah. I don't have much to
say.
Either
way.
Yeah.
I think they do it either way, but we'll see.
Man, I miss that old CONCACAF president because the Moss brothers could slip him $100 and he would have done it right away.
Jack Warner.
Yeah, he was willing to take anything.
Okay, so fun story. Speaking of Jack Warner, a name I never thought we'd bring up on this podcast. My wife is from Trinidad, and Jack Warner is from Trinidad, and my wife's uncle grew up right down the street, like 2 houses down from Jack Warner, and they used to like go by his house and like when he was because he kind of lived in the same area when he was an adult and everything, and yeah, they always joked around that he was corrupt as hell, and then it all came out.
Oh, but everyone knew it. It was never a secret he was corrupt. Yeah,
He's still
never
there.
a secret he was corrupt. It was just at the time it was acceptable, and then one day it wasn't.
Yeah.
All right, we've kind of trailed on
Yeah.
for like 15 minutes now, so I think let's get that.
Fun.
Let's get the Oscar music playing, wrap it up, and then we'll be back mid next week to talk about what we expect to be a win. Maybe we'll find out, did someone move to IMCF2? Yeah.
Were there other
more
moves
news to come
within the club? And we'll hopefully have some more Fort Lauderdale United information for you guys. We're hoping. Fingers crossed. We've been working.
We might have something.
We should.
All right.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching along. Those of you who joined live. For those of you who are listening post game, please like and subscribe to YouTube. You're missing out on some good content and some good slide decks that we put together. And even more importantly, you're missing out on the live shows from the stadium. So please like, subscribe, do your thing, share with your friends. In addition to having our first 1,000 view video, we also hit 150 subscribers this week. So please keep sharing. We're growing. The more we grow, the more we're able to do, the more cool things we're going to do. Mike and I have a lot of plans, but they need more followers. To be perfectly honest, but
we really do.
But we appreciate you guys who are here with us and have stuck around with us for the 26 episodes we've recorded. And we will we'll be back at you or be back with you next week. So you guys have a good one.